Hey, it's Alec Torelli, the poker player from Conscious Poker. So what makes a game truly great? Well, to award a game the title of the world's greatest game, I believe it must meet several important criteria. First, it should be universally accessible, simple to learn but difficult to master, providing players with the challenge of a lifelong improvement and infinite levels through which they can progress. Second, for players to transcend the superficial goal of merely playing to win, a game's essence should reflect the realities of life itself. Qualities like risk-taking, decision-making under pressure, adaptability, emotional control, and resilience are crucial in life and a well-designed game. The best games push us to confront uncertainty and grow, offering lessons that extend beyond the game itself. Just like life, the world's greatest game must not only involve skill, but also an element of luck. Factors like where we were born, the education we receive, and our genetics are all forms of luck that exist in the real world. Decisions we make represent our skills, allowing us to overcome misfortune and ultimately shape our destinies. By providing a mix of randomness and control, a game can serve as a vessel for navigating real-world scenarios. Pretty cool. This absence of luck excludes most games from claiming the title. In chess, players have complete information, and luck plays almost no role. Additionally, the human element is minimal, as players rarely adjust their strategies to counter others, but instead focus on making the best tactical moves. Inferior players seldom win, and all variables are known, making the game an insufficient reflection of reality and life. In that vein, simpler games could never qualify as the world's greatest because there are too few levels of mastery. Video games, for example, while fun and engaging, often lack the opportunity for deeper personal development. Finally, the skill set required to win the game should be dynamic, requiring both EQ and IQ, just as winning in life requires both the skill to reason, as well as the ability to build successful interpersonal relationships. In short, to be world-class, a game must combine both luck and skill, offer endless opportunities for mastery, foster personal development, and closely mirror the ever-evolving nature of life. Even though I'm biased, having dedicated my life to a single game, I believe poker best fits these criteria. So here are 5 reasons why poker is the world's greatest game, and how the skills required to master it uniquely prepare us to make winning decisions in life. First is the purpose of poker is to play. The purpose of a game isn't to win, it's to play, and life works the same way. While we may fool ourselves into believing contentment has a destination, the secret to life is enjoying the journey. Even if we do reach our goals, we soon create new ones and restart the process once more. As Roger Sterling, the most famous ad executive in the hit TV show Mad Men, observes, happiness is the moment right before you want more happiness. So life and games aren't about winning, they're really just about playing. And while some may argue that this is true of all games, I think poker best encapsulates the idea of the process being sort of indefinite. Poker is a lifelong journey because there are infinite levels of mastery one could aspire to. For many, it starts as a practical endeavor, the desire to win money, to compete, to strategize, but ultimately, if you let it, playing poker evolves into a sort of spiritual journey of personal development. On their path toward becoming a winning poker player, one must tackle many challenging subjects, such as taming the ego, for example, cultivating some self-awareness, learning to sit in silence and sort of like meditate through the long hours of playing, and most games are really boring once you beat them, as is the case with majority of video games. They have a fixed number of levels, and once you master them, the player loses interest. I think poker is very different here. You never beat the game. You merely level up as you continue to play and improve. The process is the purpose. So poker is simply a test, and the level we're playing at reflects our current development in the game. Moving up means honing our skills and improving our character so we're able to win, essentially passing the exam. I think we only really fail when we stop playing. Many can't handle the challenges of poker, such as mastering their emotions, remaining disciplined, managing their resources effectively, so they quit. The fact that poker leads some to go bust doesn't mean the game is flawed, rather it accurately affects the real world where our actions carry serious consequences. Poker and life can be harsh. Not everyone comes out ahead. In both games, there is no destination. Life is one long session, and each poker hand is a small decision that shapes your results, just like the small choices we make each day shape our reality. Number 2, poker is an infinite game. Games vary in complexity. People often cite the immense number of ways a game of chess can unfold. Known as Shannon's number, there are theoretically 10 to the 120th possible ways a chess game could play out. But poker is even more vast. I believe it's the most complex game in the world. The number of ways to shuffle a standard 52 card deck is represented by 52 factorial, which is the product of all the numbers from 52 down to 1. That equals 8.07 times 10 to the 67th. That's 80 unvintillion, whatever that is. Basically 80 followed by 67 zeros. To grasp this number size, consider that the universe is about 13.8 billion years old. That's roughly 4.35 times 10 to the 17th seconds. So even if you shuffled a deck of cards once per second since the universe began, you wouldn't come close to exhausting all the possible shuffles. You'd need about 2 times 10 to the 50th more universes worth of time. It's pretty crazy. It means you'll never play the same hand twice. These permutations only account for the cards dealt without factoring in the obvious bet sizes, betting rounds, all the players' decisions, which add near infinite complexity to each possible way every single one of those hands could also transpire. So, for example, even if all players were dealt the exact same cards, it's nearly impossible that their betting patterns would be replicated. People play different, they bet different, they think different. A simple variation in bet size, or the decision to bet in the first place as opposed to checking, can dramatically change the hand and the strategy and the way it plays, offering infinite permutations to how a poker hand can be played. Poker's vastity more accurately mimics the endless complexities of life. Number 3. Poker is the perfect blend of luck and skill. While luck in poker influences short-term outcomes, poker and life are ultimately games of skill. It's the quality of our decisions, compounded over decades, that largely shapes our long-term destiny. However, it's this delicate balance of both luck and skill that makes poker the greatest game on earth. It's thanks to luck that poker teaches essential life skills like bankroll management. See, if the best players always won, they really wouldn't need to manage risk. They could just put all their money on the line in any given session. But luck forces players to preserve capital and diversify, just like in business or investing. The same is true of emotional mastery. A pure skill game wouldn't require the resilience and mental fortitude to overcome unforeseen adversity. Aside from serving as an equalizer of sorts, there's a deeper reason why luck is crucial. It fosters growth. Without luck, the better players would always win. But we know that's not how life works. Sometimes we encounter bad luck, like losing with the best hand or missing out on a promotion we deserve in the workplace. Though frustrating, luck teaches us to focus on what we can control, let go of what we can't, and build resilience in the face of setbacks. It reminds us that outcomes aren't always fair, especially in the short term. While we can't control the cards we're dealt, we can control how we play them. This is a big metaphor for life as well. Winning players focus their energy on doing exactly that. Many games involve luck, that is true. One could even argue that tennis has an element of luck or chance, such as when a ball is wrongly called out. However, this element is too rare, allowing the better player to nearly always prevail. For a game to truly mimic life, it's not enough to simply have luck, it must strike the right balance. So there must be enough luck for an inferior player to win on any given day, while over the long term, the better players consistently come out on top. This balance is said to be around 20 to 30%, which is true of both poker and life. Number 4. Poker is a game of people. It's often said that poker isn't a game of cards played with people, but a game of people played with cards. I love that. Unlike other games of complete information, like chess or Magic: The Gathering, where strategy alone determines the best course of action, poker requires constant adaptation based on the psychology and behavior of your opponents. Many players go on tilt, we've all seen this, probably all done this, while losing, making poor decisions driven by emotion, and forcing the action in a desperate attempt to recover quickly. Astute players adapt by tightening up and bluffing less, countering this aggression with discipline. This practice of constantly upping one's strategy, hand by hand, player by player, mirrors how life works too, requiring us to adjust in response to the ever-changing circumstances. In human interactions, we naturally treat people differently depending on who they are and how they operate. A great leader tailors their communication style to the person they're speaking to, ensuring it aligns with how that individual best receives information. This ability to sort of read the player is also a crucial life skill, and the most successful people and leaders have mastered it. In both life and poker, we constantly adjust our approach as the new details emerge. Each time a new card is dealt or a bet is made, we incorporate new insights and account for our opponent, just as we refine our strategies in life based on evolving circumstances and the people involved. Mastering poker requires more than just understanding in-game strategy. It also demands the ability to adapt to the ever-changing moods, emotions, and behaviors of those around us. Players must anticipate their opponent's intentions and predict their next moves. This ability to see the world from another's perspective is arguably one of the greatest skills in life. The best part? With each passing hand, one gets the opportunity to wager money on their judgment, and they receive immediate feedback, sometimes painful, allowing them to refine their process. Poker is the ultimate game of people. as each of our personalities emerges through our own unique playing style. This is why no two people play the same, because no two people are the same. Understand the player, and you understand the person. Mastering poker indirectly provides us with a skill in dealing with others. Poker is also a democratic game. This is something I really love and I'm passionate about, as everyone is allowed to have a seat at the table. Unlike other games and sports, which require permission, access to compete against pros, in poker one can choose to sit with the best in the world. This better resembles the sort of free market where anyone can launch a product or service to compete with others, no matter how big that other person is. People from all walks of life come together to play poker. We've all seen this. It's one of the best things. Stuck at the same table for hours, conversations naturally flow, leading to sharing of ideas and new perspectives. Friendships are formed, business deals are struck, and relationships develop, all while enjoying one of our favorite pastimes. Though poker is a single-player game, much like life, it embodies one of the best aspects of being human, sharing the experience with others. Chess, too, is a single-player game, but with only one opponent and no downtime due to the heads-up format, the same level of interaction rarely occurs. Poker is played with 9 people, though most hands only involve 2 at a time, allowing the other 7 to engage in side conversations and build connections. We've all had this experience, it's amazing. Perhaps only golf is similar in this regard, I think, yet it pales in comparison. Golf isn't as accessible as poker, as everyone must show up at the same time, and you generally need an existing network to play. You also can't casually hit balls with a world-class pro, but in poker, you might find yourself trying to check raise Phil Ivey to take down a pot. Probably won't work. With its fixed start and end times and permissioned entry, golf lacks the spontaneity and the diverse mix of characters that poker naturally fosters through the randomness of table interactions. Poker is the ultimate game because it mirrors life's complexities and serendipity, exploring the depth of human connection. Number 5, mastering poker requires personal growth. Beyond tactics and strategies, poker offers an unparalleled opportunity for self-development. Mastering the game takes time, effort, and a lot of discipline. Through the process, we learn crucial life skills, such as patience, emotional resilience, managing logic versus intuition, delaying gratification, selecting opportunities, weighing risk-reward, and maintaining calm, poise, and focus in every action one takes. We also develop a framework for decision-making and learn how to make those decisions under pressure. These skills transcend the poker table and are valuable in all areas of life. They've definitely helped me. The game pushes us to our limits, forcing us to confront our weaknesses. Overcoming these challenges, both on and off the field, makes poker more than just a game. It becomes a tool for personal development. We are only as good of a poker player as we are in our traits and habits. Our flaws, frankly, are exposed hand after hand, costing us money. Through this painful and immediate feedback, we slowly grow, overcome our shortcomings, and level up our character. For example, impatient players tend to play too many hands, which costs them money. Over time, they learn to tighten up, be more selective, and master the art of passing on mediocre opportunities to wait for better ones. In short, there's only 2 outcomes. They either continue to be impatient and continue to lose, or they grow more patient. They actually change an aspect of who they are. Each fold at the poker table becomes like a rep at the gym, strengthening their patience muscle. This newly gained muscle is then utilized in the real world, from being more disciplined with personal finances to having more emotional control in stressful situations. To excel at poker, I've had to improve many seemingly unrelated aspects of my life. I've worked on strengthening my physical body and stamina to thrive while playing grueling long hours, meditated for nearly a decade to improve my focus and emotional control. I've altered my diet to maximize my energy. I've worked with a mental coach to increase my confidence, execution, and performance. All of these had profound effects outside of poker and have helped me grow into the person I am today. Of course, there's still much I can do to improve as a player. Not only because the strategy is infinitely complex, like we talked about, and I'm always learning new things about the tactics, but because, like everyone, I'm flawed. I have plenty of room for personal growth as well. I now find myself teaching many of the same techniques to my clients and students. They often find me at the beginning of their poker journey, determined to focus on in-game strategy, believing that tactics alone will make them a winner. And look, I'll be the first to say, there is absolutely no replacement for solid fundamentals. But over time, what's cool is they realize that there's much more to improve upon. Just like last week, for example, I had a client realize that his discipline was the reason he wasn't a winning player. He knew how to play well, and he did so often, but the few times he came undone completely ruined him. It prevented him from being a winning player. His lack of discipline manifested in other areas of his life as well, such as poor bankroll management and poor game selection. As he began to work through this and develop practices, systems, and habits to strengthen this muscle, his poker results improved dramatically. So boredom only arises when we stop learning and growing, but in poker, there's always another aspect of our character to develop, keeping the game endlessly engaging. This makes poker a game without limits, constantly pushing us to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. When you combine poker's strategic depth, its demand for skill, its human element, and its universal appeal, it's hard to think of a game that compares. It challenges our minds, tests our resilience, and teaches us valuable life lessons along the way. For me, no other game strikes this balance so perfectly. We never quite master the game, because we never quite master ourselves. Both allow for infinite growth. That's why poker isn't just my favorite game, it's the greatest game in the world. I'm Alec Torelli. Thanks for watching.